Welcome back to this new lecture, and today we're going to focus on how to create cheap photorealism in Blender. This series will be divided in two parts. The one you're watching right now is the part 1. I will post the part 2 of this series within the same week of the part 1 which you're watching right now. In this lecture, we are going to create this scene. It's a very simple scene. There's no animation in this, and it's just a still frame, and there's no movement, there's no animation, nothing. It's just a simple few 3D models, some lighting. And by the end of this lecture, you will be able to create your own scene just like this. So watch the full lecture till the end. Let's start. First of all, you have to create a new project, delete everything, save the project somewhere, and let's name it as plant. And now what you have to do is you have to get this add-on called Blender Kit, which is a free add-on. And this add-on basically helps you to get free models, free textures, and literally free anything. It's paid and free both, but the free stuff which you get here is really worth it. But still, if you don't want to use this add-on, you can just go to sketchfab.com, search for plant, and you'll get a lot of 3D models of plant. And make sure you just download those models which look really realistic. Let's say, for an example, this one, and yeah, there are paid ones too, and mostly they are photo scanned. Just use anyone you like, but it should look realistic. For an example, this looks realistic, and also this model. So download something like this, and it should be at least 3 models, but it should be different, not the same. And then you have to import it in Blender. But if you're using Blender Kit, then just follow me. So click on this first icon which says find models. Now search for plant. And also make sure that you click on this free first. And now you will see a lot of 3D models. Just look at that. I mean, they are so good and it's free. Like in the market, people just create this model and you have to buy this. But you get this free for like literally spending any money with this add-on. So just get any 3D model you like. So I'll go with this one and maybe this one too. And we need the third final model, which will be, I guess, this one. Okay. So now we have these 3 models here in the hierarchy. And now you have to increase the size of all the 3 models. Now get a camera, and in your workspace, just assume a proper angle like this, and press Ctrl, Alt, and 0. So now we have this camera right here, and now you can select any plant and just move it like this. If you see, this model is looking like really small compared to this one. So just increase the size. Okay, like this. Now you have to choose which model from these 3 plants will be your main subject, because the 2 plants behind the main subject will be blurred because of depth of field. And I'll show you that later, but first you have to just select it. So what I think is I'll go with this one. I'll get this plant on the front and get this on the back. So let me just get it somewhere here and get this plant back. Then I can even rotate it something like this, and then get this plant more closer to the camera, something like this. And this plant is it's fine. In the camera, change the focal length to 70 millimeter and get it somewhere like this. Again, just move the plant somewhere like this. Also the left one, something like this. All right. Now what you have to do is go to camera. Now turn on depth of field. And before you do anything, just hold on. So basically this I'll just explain this settings right here. Focus on object is basically this tool. If you select any 3D model, it will focus only on that model. So for an example, let's select this one and make this f-stop 2.5. Now it will focus on this uh, this 2D model. It's not, you know, an effective way to do. So I wouldn't prefer you do that. And will manually change the distance and everything. So to do that, what you have to do is first get the focus distance to 0. All right. Now make sure the f-stop is zero point 0.5 or less. But I don't think you should go more than that, because they're focusing only on the photorealism part as if it's actual a DSLR camera or a movie camera. Now make the blades to 8. Now make the ratio to 2. If you don't do this two settings right, it's completely fine. But the important ones is the focus distance and the f-stop. Just make the f-stop to 0.5 just for right now. Now slowly increase the number on the focus distance. And now you can see it has started to focus on the object. But basically how this works is that our camera is right here. So basically there's this line going like this. So the first object which hits the let's say the focus is this one right here. And also the first like this whole object is the thing, right? But we have get the f-stop to 0.5, so it won't uh, completely focus on all the leaves and part. It will only focus on the part which is near the camera. So let's say this area right here. So this area, it can get blurred, and this area will be also blurred, but not like this one. This area will still be little bit visible, but this whole area will be like so much blurry. I'll just show you how this works. Now slowly increase the number on the focus distance, and as we can see, we have this focus on the leaves, like the first leaves here, not the back ones. But if you increase it more, now it focuses on the back area, not this one. So you have to make sure you do it properly. And to do it properly, you have to zoom in to see the leaves. So let's say I think 5.62 is fine, but it won't be same for you. So you have to make sure. So just zoom in, all right. So you will properly see if it's blurred or not, because slightly if you just move it like this, you can see the blur. If you zoom out, you won't see the blur. So make sure you zoom in and then check the blur. So this is fine for me. And let's say I want to decrease the f-stop to 0.3. So the background will be blurred more. But I just prefer to keep it 0.5, because that's like perfect for me. If you want, you can decrease it to 0.3, but don't go below that. And now what you have to do is get a plane. Create a plane, increase the size, and then apply the scale. Actually, the size is too much. Let me just move it like this. All right. Now, in the Blender Kit add-on, go to Find Materials. Now search for wood. And you will find a lot of wood models. Just search for a very simple model. Let's use this one. And as you can see, it's not looking good. And that's completely fine. And what we can do is go to shady. All right. And then if you see here, there's this mapping node right here, which connects all the albedo, normal, roughness, all the textures right here. So what you do is just select everything and make it one, and now it's looking good. But if you want more realism, which I'm gonna teach you in my part 2, but just for a glimpse, I'll show you how you can make the wood more realistic. Once again, this is just an optional step, because I'm going to teach you this in detail in part 2. But right now I'm just going a bit fast. So go to edit mode, select everything, subdivide it like massively, make it 50. or maybe 100. I repeat, there will be a lot of subdivisions, so your PC might not handle this. So just think before you do it. I'll make it maybe 150 now. It won't go above 100, and maybe subdivide it again. Okay, now I think this is fine. And then uh you will see there's this displacement node right here. So what you have to do is increase the scale, and now you can see it's looking weird, of course, because the number is like too much. Make it zero point 0.1 like this. If you zoom in, you will see it, but the second you go in the viewport mode, viewport shading, you won't see the displacement like this. If you want more, you can surely make it zero point 0.2. But I think zero point 0.2 is fine. But still, if you want, let's make it 0.15. Okay. Now I think it's looking good. And also, select this plant and get it up slightly. And now what you have to do is go to layout again, go to camera view, and this time we are not going to use HDR. We are going to use the sky texture which comes with Blender. So go to render, and then make sure you select this render region. So when we uh, go from EV to cycle, it only focuses on this area, not the unnecessary part. Now make it cycles, change the device to GPU compute, make the max samples to 20. The reason for 20 is that we are not animating it, it's just a single frame. But if you're animating it, I would just prefer you go with something between 10 to 20, not about 20. And for the viewport, let's make it 15 or maybe 10. And don't check this option called motion blur, because we are not animating it, so it's not necessary. And rest, everything is fine. Now what you have to do is go to world and click on this yellow color right here and select this sky texture. And now you can see there's this something like HDR. It's not HDR like proper HDR, but it's we can do we can work with it. And now what you have to do is we have a lot of settings right here. And do not worry, I know it would feel overwhelming, but we are not going to use every single settings right here. Okay, I'll just explain you all the settings. The sun size is basically the size of the sun you see right here. If you decrease the sun intensity, you won't get the shadows right here, because there's no rays, right? Now the sun elevation is basically to show something like sunrise or sunset. So let's decrease it, so it will look more like this sunrise or sunset scene. If you want, you can also increase it to show a proper day or night cycle. And then you can just rotate it like this. This is basically how we rotate the HDR in the shading tab. Just rotate it and see which direction you like the most. I think I'll go with this one. This looks really good. And now again, you can slightly increase the dust to see how it looks. And if you increase the dust, the rays will get decrease. It all depends on your choice. But I'll just slightly increase the dust, something like this, to give a proper sunset look. Now what you have to do is go to render a single image, and it won't even take a lot of time. Alright, so the render is done, and it took almost 40 seconds. Now go to compositing, turn on this use nodes, drag it out. Now get a viewer node to see the changes in real time. And if you press V, it will zoom out. If you press Alt plus V, it will zoom in. Now get a lens distortion node connected to both of them. Now click on fit and make the dispersion to 0.02 to get chromatic aberration on the edges, something here. If you get a higher value, it will look really bad. Let's say zero point 0.8. Now this is looking really bad. So let's just stick to 0.02. All right. Now get um let's say how we can use this glare node here and make this glare type to, we can use bloom also, but nah, it's not looking realistic. So let's go with fog below. And if you decrease the threshold, you will see the glare increase in the amount. So make the threshold to, let's say, 0.5. And as you can see, we have this glow somewhere. It's very light. If I make it 0.3, if I make it 0.3, it's look good. It's looking good. All right. Now we can use RGB curves to do some slight color grading. Basically, this is the contrast: red, green, blue. If we decrease the blue, it will look more yellowish, like this. But if we increase the blue, it will look something bluish tone. But it won't match with the sunset thing. For the red, I think I should increase it like this. And for the green, let's say we decrease it, it's looking more reddish. But if we increase it, no. But if we increase the green and also increase the blue, no, it's not looking good. But I think this is fine right now. Let me just connect this directly to lens distortion. I don't want this glare node. Okay, and now go to layout, go to render, and in the drop down, choose this option called always in the compositor, so we can see the changes which we have done in compositing in the viewport render. So this is how our scene is looking. So that is it. Now I hope that you can create something of your own. And in the part 2, we'll create something more interesting. Hey, welcome back to my part 2 of this series. And in this part, I'm going to teach you the cheap photorealism technique in Blender, which you can use. And this time, we are not going to even use the Cycles engine. We are only focusing on Eevee. And this trick will work really good with your PC, because we are not going to render the scene in Cycles. As you can see, I'm using this Eevee render engine with ray tracing on. If you turn it off, it still looks decent, but not realistic. So I just tend to keep it on. And if I make it Cycles, it just looks the same. So why not Eevee? In this shot, I'm using a displacement, and there's this there's this ant right here. It's just my imagination, and I just created this scene. And I'll show you how to create this step by step. By the end of this lecture, you'll be able to create your own scene just like this. So watch the full lecture till the end. Let's get started. Create a new project, select everything, delete it. Now save this as, let's say, and now what you have to do, if you haven't watched my part 1, I would prefer that you just close this video and start the part 1 first. It's not that long. You will get a basic understanding of what we're going to create right now, because the main technique in this lecture is to create the displacement. It's a fake effect which doesn't really exist, but we are just going to change few settings for that. So I would just prefer that you just go back and watch the part 1 first and then start this part 2. Create a plane, increase the size, something like this. All right. And press Ctrl plus A and just apply the scale. Now we want some materials for this ground. Now search for rocky. So you will get this rocky materials right here. Choose a one which looks very realistic. And I have used this model right here. So I'm going to use this now. So just paste it here. And as you can see, it's looking really weird, and that's completely fine. Just go to shading, all right, and you will see that there are 4 texture images right here. The one is albedo, normal, roughness, metallic, displacement, everything right here. So they are connected here with a node, and the node is connected with the mapping node. So we can just make the scale to zero point 0.3. Now it's looking good, right? And now what we can do is create a fake effect of displacement. If you're using a free material, just like me in this lecture, you will find this displacement node here. If you change any settings, nothing actually works. So what you have to do is go to edit mode, select everything. All right. And then just save your project, because your PC might get crashed if it's a weak PC or a low end PC. Because we are going to create a lot of subdivisions right now. So subdivide it and open this drop down and make the number of cuts to 100. And here we go. We have now a lot of cuts here. The reason for choosing the number of cuts to 100 is that basically, if let's say you make the number of cuts to 20, okay. I'll show you what happens if you use less subdivision. You know why it's looking like that? Because we have been using 20 number of cuts. So let's say we increase the number of cuts and subdivide it more. Okay, now it's looking a bit better than before, but it's not good or proper. Let's make the scale to 0.2. Now subdivide it more, and it is slightly getting the shape of the rocks, but still not that good. Increase the subdivision. Now it's looking a bit, you know, realistic, but still increase the subdivision. And now finally it's looking properly like a rock. But if you want to make it more good, you can just increase the subdivision. And now it's looking more like a proper rock. So now we have this rock surface right here. But if you go in the viewport, it will just disappear. Now what you have to do is get a camera. Okay, let me just go to layout. Get a camera right here, and let's focus on single rock. Let's use this right here. So press Control Alt and 0. Now we have this camera right here, and we are going to focus on this rock right here. Move it something like this and make the focal length to 80. Get the camera something like this and rotate it. Okay. Now we are going to use the depth of field again, just like we did in part 1. Turn on depth of field, make the f-stop to 0.5 and make the blades to 8 and ratio to 2. I think this time we have to increase the f-stop, but just for right now, let's change the focal distance. First get it 0 and now slightly increase it until we see the rock properly in the focus. So we have this rock here. Now you have to do now what you have to do is increase the f-stop slowly. Okay. I think 1 is fine. I think let's make it 2. Okay. Now it's looking good. Now the focus is only on this area. See? And now let's go in the find models option and search for ant, because we wanna make this scene look more realistic, right? So let's show as if there's an ant right here. And click on free first. And there are a lot of models. Choose whichever you like. I'll go with this one and put it somewhere here. And then I'll just increase the size and get it somewhere here. Rotate it like this. Slightly increase the size and get it down somewhere. It's getting out of the focus. So let me just make it stick somewhere here. All right. Okay, now I think it's looking good. but slightly rotating it on the local y-axis. Now it's looking good. Now, what you have to do is go to shading. In the EV, make sure you turn on ray tracing. And now go to the viewport render. And here in the Blender Kit add-on, go to find HDRS and search for sky. And then just find whichever you like. Let's first test how it would look. Um, in the drop down, select world so we can rotate the HDR as per our need. Well, the lighting isn't that good, so I'm not gonna use this one. Let's change the HDR to something which looks nice and suits with the scene. Maybe this one, but I don't think it will that there are no shadows in the swing. It won't look good. And let me just get a sunlight and make it make the strength to 2 or rotate it like this. All right. I think this is fine. Now render a single frame so we can move ahead with compositing part. Okay, now go to compositing, click on use nodes and get a viewer node somewhere here. Connect it to the image. Now let's go for lens distortion connected to both of them and click on fit, and for the chromatic aberration make the dispersion to 0.02. And now let's get glare node. Make it to fog low, and the threshold is fine. Threshold, make the threshold to 0.2. And now get RGB curves. Now just increase the blue slightly, and now we are getting slightly purplish look. So decrease the red. Decrease the red more. Something like this. Okay. I think this is fine. And in the viewport render, click on drop down and click on always for the compositor. So we can see the changes here in the viewport also. So this is how it looks. Still, if you rotate the sun, it will give a different type of lighting. And now you can just render the image, and that is it. Hey, welcome back to my new lecture. And today I'm going to show you how to create an amazing animation scene. In this lecture, we are going to create this scene. And as you can see, we have this animation and there's this, auto rickshaw moving, and well, it looks realistic. And I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch. And as you can see on the left side, we have this day scene, and on the right, we have this night scene. We are going to create both of them, and it's a very easy process. We just have to create a single scene, and then we can change the lighting to create night or day. So first, we'll start with getting the model of the auto rickshaw. Then we'll start modeling the environment, and then we'll do the texturing, and in the last, we'll do the lighting. So in the daylight scene, we are going to use HDRI, and for the night, we are just going to use area light. So let's start with our lecture. Just open the Blender and create a new project, delete everything, save the project. Let's say I'll just create a new folder, name it as lecture. Then I'll name it this as day, because first we'll create day and then we'll just change the lighting and make it night. So let's just rename it to take. So the project has been created properly. This was the project which I had created, and the story behind this auto rickshaw is the textures, because there was this premium model on Sketchfab and other websites, but I couldn't buy that. So what I did is I just used a very simple and low poly 3D model, and the textures were really bad. And in India, uh, well, I'm from India, so in India, there's this different color auto rickshaw in every state. So the place where I live, the auto rickshaw looks like this, and the 3D model which I got, it was different color, different textures. So I had to change everything, and even though if I just change everything, the color also, it didn't look good. So I used some roughness texture to just make this metal look more realistic. And yeah, that's it. Then I used Mixamo character to make it look like it's driving this auto rickshaw. So well, what I can do is I can just give you this 3D models. You can just save time for texturing and all. And if you don't want to do that, it's completely fine. You can search on Sketchfab and you will get some good models. And the only problem is that you have to manually change the textures if you don't like the original textures. So I had to change the textures, and if you see this yellow part, I had to just paint it, because this whole part was I think green. So I just changed some textures and some colors. So I'll just give you this 3D model, and you can just use that. If you're watching this lecture on YouTube, you can check the link in the pinned comment section. And if you're watching this on Skillshare, you can just maybe check the project settings or maybe description. I'll make sure I'll just put a link somewhere, so it will save a lot of time for you. So when you import the model, it will be looking like this, and just make sure that you have this texture like this one. And for this texture, you can do one thing, and that is just increase the size to 0.7. And yeah, that is it. So we have this realistic looking 3D model of auto rickshaw, and now we can just hide this and start creating the environment. And for the environment, just create a cube first, and now just model like this. Decrease the size first of all, like this. Increase the size on the y axis. Let's say we make uh like this long, maybe more. I think uh I think this would look good. And then what you have to do is increase the size on the x axis, but slightly, like this one. Then we can use array modifier to just repeat it till the end. But for right now, just focus on creating this. Now go to edit mode, press Ctrl plus R, then create a loop cut like this. Then click on this face, then extrude it slightly like this. We are actually copying the exact size of the like the roads in Mumbai. So we are going to create textures and everything just like that, just like I've shown you in the video in the beginning. So now we have this one, and now what we can do is create more loop cuts, and then just increase the number of cuts to, okay, this should look good, I think. Just make it like this, and um now now we have to create like the the border for this lane. So create another cube and move it here somewhere. Decrease the size and get it length this. Okay. Now what you have to do is go to edit mode and let's decrease the size even. Just decrease the size a bit more. Get it like this. Now on the x-axis, decrease the size like this. Then go to edit mode, select this face, then click on E and extrude it like this. And on the y-axis, decrease the size like this. And also for this line, make it like this. And you can bevel also by pressing Ctrl plus B. And if you scroll, it will increase the faces. And I think this is okay. Then select this face and press Ctrl plus B slightly. We don't want much faces, so I'm just gonna keep it subtle. Okay, this is good. Let's let's decrease the size on the x-axis a bit more. And now we can do one thing. Just copy it by pressing Alt plus B. Actually, if you press Shift plus B, it will create the duplicate of the model, and it will use uh, different data properties. But if you want to save some resources, you can just press Alt plus D. So it will use same object data properties of the first model. Just move it like this. Now we want a cylinder. Move it here. Decrease the size. Decrease the size a bit more. Then increase the size just on the z-axis like this. Now you can rotate it 90-degree. Move it up. I think decrease the size. Then increase the size on the x-axis. Then duplicate it by pressing Alt plus D. Move it down somewhere here. So this is how it looks. Select every object, press Ctrl plus A and click on all transforms. And for this one, actually what we can do is that just delete this and select this object. Go to edit mode, select everything, press Shift plus D and move it like this. You don't have to be accurate to create this model or anything, because with the motion blur it won't have much details, so it's fine. Now you can select this model and press Ctrl plus A and click on all transforms. The reason for click on this applying all transform like location, rotation, scale, three of them, is because it will help us while texturing. I'll just show you in the later part how it will help. Just for right now, select every object, press Ctrl plus A and click on all transforms. So when you're done, then what you have to do is create material for this one and just name it as, let's say, let's name it as one. Let's name it as the red, because this color will be slightly red. And click on this cylinder, create a new material, name it as cylinder. And for this one, just copy the cylinder material. So this is done. Now you can just select these three objects and press Ctrl plus J. So basically what you've done right now is, if you see, now this is one single material, but we are going to apply two materials differently for this cylinder and also for this 3D model, and we have this separate material right here. Now go to modifier, click on array, and make the vector x to -1, and we want a bit distance. We want a little distance between this two. Slightly decrease this. I think this will be okay, or maybe a bit, yeah, like this. Now just copy that like this. We just want it to be just here. Actually, now what you have to do is select this objects and make sure that it's properly middle, like it's properly on the middle side, like this. We can do one thing, and that is just make it to 1.4 and increase the count to 9, then properly aligning it. Okay, this should look good. And now what we can do is, now we have to create a metal object which will be placing right here. So for that, create a cube again, move it here. It decrease the size, let's say like this, then increase the size on the z-axis. I think this should look good. And then what you have to do is create a new material for this. Just name it as metal, and go to edit mode, create two loop cuts like this. Then select this face, extrude it like this. Now create another loop cut like this. Now we have this face. Just press E and then press S. Then just decrease the size like this. And you see this is not symmetrical. So press S and then press X and make it like this. So when you have this proper symmetrical, press E and push it inside slightly. And then just delete this face. And yeah, that is it. Create a new material and select create this new material. Let's name it as glass and assign this face for that. And after that, create a new material, name it as metal 2. Then select this two faces and assign it to metal 2. Now go to modifier and do the same. Get this array modifier, -1 value, and then just increase the count like this. So we have properly did the modeling, and now we can do the texturing. And when the texturing is done, we can do this a bit of alignment for this two models. so it looks proper with this road. So let's start the texturing part, and for that, go to shading. Let's first start with the road. So for the road, create a material, name it as road. Create a new material, name it as yellow. Now create another material, name it as navy. For the road, select this faces, assign it to road. Then select alternatively this faces and assign them to yellow, and then select alternatively but different this time, and this will be for navy color. So just to make sure the texture alignment is proper, uh, select a material, then click on select. So now it's showing that this is the road texture, and that is fine. Now for the yellow, okay, this is also fine. This is also fine. Let's start with the road texture. If you don't know, by the way, there is this free add-on called Blender Kit, and it helps you get free 3D assets and textures and HDRs. So we are going to use this one. So go to the texture and search for uh, if you want to search on Google for textures, you can surely go and search on that. But this add-on really helps you save a lot of time, and this gives a lot of good textures and 3D models. So for the material, search for road, and we're going to use a model, a texture which is somewhat like wet. And as you can see, it doesn't look good, and it's fine. Just select that and go to edit mode. Then click on this, press A for selecting everything. Then press U and then C. So basically, what we've done is by pressing this C, it will select this option, cube projection. So it will properly align the textures. And it doesn't look good right now, and I know that it's completely fine. In the shader editor, decrease the scale to 0.5 and see how it looks. It doesn't look good. Increase the size to maybe 2. Rotate it to 90 degree, and it looks good right now. Then change the location like this. Increase the size to 3. 3 doesn't look good, so let's stick to 2. I actually want a texture which is like wet. So let me search for that. Yeah, this looks really good. You're gonna use this one. So do the cube projection by pressing U and then C. And as you can see, it looks realistic now. Change the size to 1.5. Okay, and then change the Y value slightly, like this. And yeah, that is it. Now we want a concrete texture for this yellow and navy color. So search for concrete. This looks good. You can use this one, and then just choose the same material and apply it to the navy one, and go to edit mode, press U plus C, And as you can see, this is same material, but there's something which we are going to do now to just make it yellow and navy color. First, let's name this as you can see, these are two same material. So click on any one of them and click on this button, add a new material. So it will create the same texture, but the numbering will be different. So we can separately edit both of them. Let's name this as yellow and name this one as navy. So for the yellow, what we can do is just get this hue and saturation, apply this right here. Increase the saturation, then just mess with the settings until you find the proper yellow color. And I can find this yellow color, but it's not looking properly yellow. So I can get this brightness and contrast node, and I can increase the brightness slightly. So as you can see, I got this yellow color now. And what you have to do is just copy both of them, then go to navy and paste them. Paste them right here. So it will turn to yellow. And now we just have to change the hue to make it blue, like the navy color, and maybe decrease the value or decrease the saturation. Also decrease the value, not too much, slightly. So now we have this texture for both of them. Now we can use the same like the texture, and we can just change the color. So this was a texture. Let's paste it right here and create a new material for this. So the numbering will change. Name it as red, and then change the hue until you find it to be properly red. Okay, there's this black part, and we can solve that. Just go to edit mode, select everything, press U and then C. It doesn't still go away, so we can do one thing, and that is increase the size of the scale UV to 2 or maybe 3. I think 2 is fine. Then just change the U until you find it to be red. And yeah, this is the one. Now we can use the same uh, material for this cylinder. And for the cylinder, we can just you know, use a very simple, just make it reddish slightly, or let's make it yellowish slightly. Then decrease the saturation like this, so it looks grayish. And then what you have to do is create an just make sure you press on this button, then change the scale to 2, or maybe let's decrease it and let's find let's just explore how it would look. Maybe 0.5. Okay, this is also looking good. Actually, we changed this cylinder material, and it also changed this material, the 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 blue. So what we can do is just make sure you selected the navy color and make it blue again. Not too much saturation, or it will look really unrealistic. Like this. And if you wanna make it more realistic, You can add ambient occlusion node, and you can do that by searching for ambient occlusion. Then get a color ramp, then get a mix shader, then this principal VSDF, connect it to the last shader. Just connect this color to this node, not the shader. Okay, then connect this shader to this one. And what you can do now is mess with the settings to find out which like what looks good. And suppose you find that this looks good, just copy this three nodes, Control plus C, copy them, then go to yellow, paste them like this, make this connect this node to this one, this to the final material output. So now we have this ambient occlusion. We are going to render this in cycle, so we have to use this one. Otherwise, we have this built-in feature for this EV if we just press ray tracing. But we are not going to render it in EV, right? So how to do this manually? This is just an optional step. If you don't want to do, that's completely fine. And let's just change the texture for this metal. Search for metal. Maybe try this one. Press everything U plus C. It looks okay. And for the metal 2, search for a metal which has some design, and I'm gonna use this one. Press U and then press C. Then just go to UV editing. Then on the left side, just increase the size like this. And for the glass, what we can do is we can create a new material. So click on this principal BSDF and click on transparent BSDF and change the color to slightly bluish. If you want, you can decrease this to, let's say, this, so it looks more like a glass. But I'm not gonna make it like too much. I'm just gonna decrease it slightly, so it gives more feeling like a glass. So this is done. Now we can change the size of this. Like, we can use this array modifier to make the road long. So click on this road and get this array modifier. Make the factor x to -1. Make the count to, let's say, 15. And then do the same for every road. Let's get this till here. So maybe if I make it 20, it is still very low. So maybe 70, and it's still not till here. So now we have our road. Now we can just unhide this this auto, change the rotation like this, and properly get it on top, and then change it, make it like this. And then what you have to do is select this this empty object, then select hierarchy, then go to the top view, press shift plus D and get it somewhere like this. And we're gonna use two auto rickshaw, and the reason is the first one, like this one, will be our main subject of the camera, and the camera will be inside the second model, so it will give a more realistic bike. I'll just show you how it looks, but first let's animate it. You can just follow the same step as you did in my first lecture, where I showed you how to create a car animation. You can use the same step to create this, just to animate these wheels, so it looks more realistic. And I'll just show you how to do that quickly. If you see this Y, just click on that and select this agent driver. You don't have to change anything. Just in this object, make sure it is this object, like the empty. So if you move the empty, the wheel properly rotates with the motion. So if you're using my model, the animation will already be copied from my model. The only thing which you have to do is just assign this object to this uh, empty. Do the same for this wheel. And now if you try to move it like the auto rickshaw, the wheel properly moves. Then let's animate this uh, from the first frame. Press I, and let's say we render 140 frames, maybe 150 frames. Make the end to 150 frames. Then let's say in the 150 frames, the auto rickshaw will move from point 1 to somewhere, um let's say here, and press I. Now for the second rickshaw, we don't have to animate the wheels or anything, because the rickshaw will not be visible. The only thing which will be visible is the mirror and the, like, this handle part. So we are not going to animate this one. So just select this empty, then animate this, then go to frame 1, press I, and then go to frame 150 and change the location to somewhere like this, and press I, and make sure the interpolation mode is set to linear, and also for the first auto animation. So now if we play the animation, the auto rickshaw moves like this. Now we can add a camera, then get it on top like this first of all. Then let's parent it to this empty. Press Ctrl plus B and click on Object Keep Transform. Just go to the camera view, then decrease the size like this. Actually, just get this new window. So this will help in properly alignment with the camera. Then rotate it like this. You can do one this if you want. If you want it to be cinematic, you can just change the resolution X to 2100, resolution Y to 900. But if you want it to be looking like a portrait, as if you are in the just imagine you are in the second rickshaw and you are shooting the first rickshaw. So let's make it look like as if it's shot from a phone. So make this 1080 and make the Y to 1920. And now get it like this. Then change the focal length to 30, and it should be fine. Rotate it like this so it looks as if you're sitting in the auto rickshaw. So now if you play the animation, it will look like this, but it still doesn't look realistic. So to add realism, you can first click on this depth of field, select the focus on object to this object, like the auto rickshaw. You can just select any part of the rickshaw, it's fine. Then make the f stop to maybe 1 or maybe 1.5. 1.5 is fine, I think. And then go to camera shakify. Well, this is an add-on which you have to download it, and in the internet you can just get this add-on for free. So just install that, and it's really easy. You can just search on Google. It's a free add-on, and every asset, every add-on I use is completely free. And in my every lectures, I'll keep providing you with that, so you can just download it and use that. So when you just download it, import it in Blender and install it. After that, you will see this camera shapify, this name, when you just select this camera. So click on this plus button, make the shake preset to walk to the store, and slightly decrease the influence. Now if you play the animation, it looks more realistic. It looks as if you are actually sitting in the auto. The speed looks really like too much, as if it's like a sport car. So we can just decrease the speed, because in real life the auto rickshaw doesn't like doesn't runs like a sports car. It doesn't look realistic. So select the uh first auto rickshaw, go to the frame 150, and then just slightly decrease it to like this. Then change just change the position like this. Get it backwards just a bit. Then press I. Now do the same for the second rickshaw. Go to the last frame. Change the position to somewhere like this. And if you play the animation now, it looks realistic. Now the speed is not that much. If you want, you can increase the speed of this rickshaw slightly. You can do that by just go to frame 150, then increase the just change the position like this slightly and press I. So if you see in the whole animation, it doesn't look as if this boat auto rickshaw is moving in the same speed. It it looks more like this the main subject, the main auto is slightly the speed is slightly more than the second rickshaw, because as you can see, it is moving like this. So that is it. And if you want, like, this is just an option, is that if you want, you can just use a Mixamo character, change the armature, like the bones, and you can make it look like he's sitting in the rickshaw and he's like the driver, and he's driving the auto rickshaw. It's just an optional step. If you want to do it, it's fine. If you don't want to do it, it's completely fine. If you don't want to do that, just make sure that the camera uh is in a way that it doesn't focus on the like this part, because it will show like it's like a ghost auto rickshaw, it's moving by itself, so it won't look good. So if in case you're not using a 3D model to make it look like a driver, just make sure that your camera is set on an angle which doesn't expose the driver seat. And yeah, that is it. uh, Now we can just move ahead with the lighting. So first of all, we are using this so first of all, we are creating the day. So for the day, we are just gonna just use HDRI. So first go to change the EV to cycle, make the device to GPU compute, make the max samples to 10, both for the viewport and render. Then if you don't want to use DNS, is completely fine. And please make sure you just click on this emotional band, because this is very important. And yeah, that is it. Now we can just go to shading, go to camera view. Then we can just search for good HDR, search for sky. Make sure you select this D first in this save. And as you can see, this looks actually good because it shows like there's something going in the background. And the lighting for this HDR is actually really cool. If you wanna use this one, you can just use that. It's completely fine. This is also fine. At least we have this sky in the background. It looks as if something is going on, right? You can use this one too. That's fine. Suppose you use this one, okay, and you wanna change the rotation of the HDR. Go to shader editor, change the object to world. Then you will find this mapping node. Change the Z location like this. It will also change the lighting for the scene. So that is it for the day. Now we can just move ahead with the lighting for the night. For the night, just remove anything you have as DRI. Just remove everything. Make the stand to 0. Now we can just add area light and get this area light and just transfer it to a new collection. Make it like the name likes. Then get it like this. Change the size slightly. Move it like this. Okay. Then go to then go to the render view just to see how it looks. Change the power to maybe 50 or maybe change the power to maybe 500. 500 I don't know, doesn't look that good. Maybe change it to 800. I think 500 is fine. Copy that and move it on the x-axis like this. So we are just adding for the night, and that's really simple. If you want, there's this optional step where you can just use HDR just to show the stars or something in the background, but not for the lighting. So search for stars. If you want, you can just use images plane and just to show that. So if you zoom out, this is the proper night look. So that is it. Now for the render, first of all, go to the output properties and change. Make sure the file format is PNG. And the reason for PNG is just to like it's faster and it's more safer, because if you try to render it in video and your maybe PC or Blender crashes, you're finished. So make sure it is set to PNG. Set the destination folder. Then you can increase the samples if you want, but I prefer to keep it around 10 to 15 samples. And just make sure the motion blur is on, and for the light paths, decrease the total to 8, then transmission to 6, and decrease both of them to 2. And you can just start the render animation. Hey, welcome back to my new lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to create this swimming pool scene. Kind of looks cinematic and also realistic. And I'm going to show you the exact process to create this scene. This is a very simple and basic animation. And everything which I've used and made in this scene is very simple to make. I'll share with you the whole process from scratch. So let's start creating this scene. Before starting, I'm just going to tell you one thing. In this lecture, we are going to find and use a 3D model of a bikini girl. So if your mom and dad is like somewhere close to your PC, so just make sure you be careful. The first step is actually finding the model. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to let you know. So let's open Sketchfab and start getting this model. Here in Sketchfab, I have found three models, and these are the three models. Well, this model is like proper photo scan, but if you look for this model, this and this two models, they are like created in 3D software. And in the video which I just showed you, I am using this model. If you look closely, it actually looks photo scan. Everything is good. The hair doesn't look that good, but in the scene, the model will be not close to the camera, so it's not a big deal. But the clothes and there are few things which doesn't look that good, and let's just use this model as a last option. But first, we can do one thing, and that is we can use this model and this model. We just want a single model, and then we are going to open Mixamo and then put the 3D model here and find a good animation. So for that, let's first start with this model. Just download the model. Uh, the file size is like huge, so I'm gonna download the GLB format, which is the texture size is like 1K. So I'm gonna download this one. So the download is done. I'm gonna import this GLB file, and that is this girl. She has some animations, and let's get her to the A or T pose first, and then we can export her. The hair doesn't look that good. Do one thing, select everything and press Alt plus P and then clear and keep transfer. Now we can just edit the hair. Just select the hair, and in the render method, make sure it is set to this third. I'm sorry if I pronounce it in a wrong way. So now the head looks good. Everything is fine. So now we can just export her, but uh, we can just do that right now because there is a lot of empty here. So we can just first um, delete them. So now only thing we have is all the meshes. Press Ctrl plus I, save it. Then go to File, Export, and export it as FBX. And let's just name it as girl FBX. Now open Mixamo and just ignore this Batman model. Then upload the FBX file. Okay, so here is this, this second object here, and I've got to deal with that. Let's do one thing. Okay, so here is the icosphere, and let me just delete that. Now now I do again export it as FBX, and then again import it. Okay, so this time the model is looking good. Click on next, then assign every points to the part of the object. So this is the chin, these are the wrists, the elbows, knees, and the groin, and hit next. So now the character is looking properly animated, and now we just want a good animation for that. Okay, this looks good. I think it is fine. Let's just download the animation. Make sure you download it with the screen, and make sure the frame rate is set to 24, because the final render will be 24 frames. If you want, you can just download it in 30 or 60 FPS. We are just gonna use this for material. So select everything and press M. Now make a new collection and name it as girl Null. Then just click on this checkbox, like uncheck it. Now create a cube. Increase the size on the X and Y axis, like this. Slightly on the Y axis. And I think um decrease the size on the X axis, like this. Go to edit mode, select this space, then press E and then press S to extrude it, but inside. Uh, just make it, slightly like this. And then uh, if you see the size here doesn't look good. So for that, just press S and then press Y and hold shift and slightly increase it like this. Now it's looking good. Then press E to extrude and push it downside like this. So this will be our pool. Now we can do one thing, and that is select this line, select this two lines, and then extrude them slightly on the Z axis. Press E and then S and then X and extrude them like this. So this will be the tiles area, and we can add chairs and other props here. And we don't want this part, so I'll just leave it blank. Then we'll get a camera first and put it somewhere here, and then press Ctrl Alt and 0. Then make the focal length to let's say 30, and just extend these values to make it the portrait mode. We can do another thing, that is getting the camera a bit closer like this, and then just making the focal length to 25. Let me just search for focal length of, let's say, iPhone 15. The focal length, okay. The focal length is 24-28 mm. Okay. Hmm. Then let's just make it 24. As if it's like, shot from a iPhone. I think this is fine. Now we can get, let's do one thing. Open a new window right here. Then press 0 for the camera. So we can just, keep checking the camera right here. Then create a plane. Increase the size like this. Also on the y-axis. Get it up like this, I think. Yeah, this is looking good. And now we can import our animation, which is this girl animation. And now we can put her right here. Then slightly in the pool like this. I think let me get her, down like this. Now she's looking good. In the textures, of course, she doesn't have a textures, so we have to find the old, girl, this model, and we have to copy the textures. Here it is. Now for the skin, it should be this one. Okay, so now everything looks fine. Okay, now we can start texturing. How to texture? Let's start with the types. Okay, so we have to create two materials here. So let's create two materials. So the first one will be for the pool, and the second one will be for the tiles. So let's name this as uh, pool and this as tile. Now let's assign the faces for the tiles and everything. So this two will be the this total four faces. Okay, will be used for the tiles. So assign them here. That is that. Now let's use this add-on called Blender Kit. If you don't know about this, just download it on Google, or you can just search on Google for the textures. But this add-on is completely free and it's very easy to use. Search for tiles, and then I'm gonna use this one. And as you can see, it doesn't look that good because we have to you know arrange the UV texture. So just select the model, go to edit mode, then press U and then press C. And now go to UV editing, select the faces and slightly increase them. And now we can uh, text shift the pool, but for that just unhide the water for night. Rename the plane as water, then just unhide them. Now search for pool, and here you go. There are a lot of good textures, and I think I'm gonna use this one maybe. Or actually, this texture just looks really polished. I'm gonna use a texture which as something like a dry texture or something like that. This also looks good, but not this one. I can use this one. Go to edit mode, press U, and then press C for pre-projection. Okay, there's a bit of problem. I just actually forgot to apply the scale. Select the model, press Ctrl plus A, and then press scale. Now, if you just press U and then C, it will look good. And same for the tiles. Press U and then press C. For the pool, I'm gonna increase the size slightly. Okay. Now this looks good. Go to camera view. No, I think this is fine. Then unhide the water. Then create a new material. Then name it as water. Delete the principal BSDF. First get a, a glass BSDF. Then get a displacement node and go to edit mode and subdivide it to, let's say, 20. Then attach this to the displacement. Then attach this glass BSDF to the surface. Now get a noise texture. Connect this FAC, like the FAC, to the surface just to see how it looks. Nothing else. You can increase the size like this and make the detail to, let's say, spice. Even increase the roughness. Then connect this FAC to the height. Connect this BSDF to the surface. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't look good now, and we can just decrease the scale to 0.14 or maybe 0.05. Even decrease the detail in the noise texture to move it to. And still, we have to do something. And let's change the scale to 10 and decrease the scale to 0.02. Okay, now it looks okay. Select the model and press Ctrl plus A to apply scale. So as you can see, it's now looking good. Get the camera like this. I'm gonna make the focal length to 30. Nothing 24 is fine. If I rotate it, it will look like this, and that is fine. Now we're gonna use an SDRI for the lighting. So first of all, change the render engine to cycles. Make the device to GPU. Get the max samples to 10 or 15. It's up to you. I'm gonna make it 10. Make the max samples also to 10 for the viewport, and make sure the motion blur is checked. Then go to the HDRI tab, and in here just click on this viewport training. It will show you the render, and now we can search for sky. Here we go. Now we can slightly just make this z value of the rotation to 90 to just get a proper lighting, and we can check which direction looks good. This HDRI looks decent, but one is getting a lot of bluish lighting, and of course I can change that later. Let me just change the texture of the pool to the one which I was using before. This one. Now it should look good. Let's do the render. Then we can move ahead in the compositing. Okay, so this looks good. Now we can do one thing, and that is actually just get this girl down slightly, like this. Then go to compositing. Click on use nodes. Then get a viewer node. Now get lens distortion connected like this. Then click on fit and make the distortion to 0.02. Uh, okay, let's just make it 0.03. Okay. Now we get this slightly chromatic aberration on the edges. Now get RGB curves, and then slightly just make this yellowish to, and now to make yellowish, slightly decrease the blue like this. Now you can decrease the green to make it purple, but I think I'm gonna increase the greens. No, actually we don't need green. Let's just decrease the blue again. I think this is fine. Now get glare, then make it just search, just select this fog glow option and make the threshold to point size or maybe 0.3. Mm, I don't know, something this feels off. This is fine. Okay, nothing. There's no problem in this. Uh, let's just see how it looks if we add a sunlight. and then get the sunlight like this, and then the girl model looks okay. This is looking good. Now, we can do one thing, and that is animate the water. So go to shading, open a new window like this, and make this to, let's say, graph editor. Okay. Now you have to pay attention with something. First, select the water, then go to the noise texture and make this to 40. And if you make 40, you get this new new setting here, and it's basically the water. So you can animate it like this. So to do that, get on the first frame and hover your mouse here, and then press I. Then go to the last frame. Okay. Then just make this 0.0, let's say 5. Then click on I. Now if you press the animation, the pin animation looks really slow, like the water looks slow. Let's first go to timeline, then select this, and as you can see, we have this keyframes here. Select them and go to interpolation mode, make it linear. If you play the animation now, the water still looks slow. So make this 0.5. Now press I. And now if you see, uh, do one thing, just clear the keyframes. Let's, just let's again animate it. Let's make it 0.5 this time and make it in this, press on I. Play the animation. The water looks okay. Maybe let's just make this to zero point 0.8 and press I. Select all the keyframes and make it linear. In the camera, there's this free add-on called Camera Shakify, and you can just download it from Google. Just search for Camera Shakify. It's completely free. Install it, and then you will find this Camera Shakify tab here. So click on this plus button, then make the shake to let's say the wedding. Then if you play the animation, camera has this movement, or you can just set this preset to walk to the store and decrease the influence slightly. And if you play the animation, now you have this proper uh, camera shake, as if it's looking like you are holding the camera. If you want, you can just rotate the camera like this to show the view. Okay. And what else you can do is search for old chap, then increase the size, rotate it like this, and then you can just uh copy it and just keep pasting it like this, and then copy them again and make them get them here, rotate them on 180-degree like this, and you are done. Then you can just animate the camera and play the animation, and it will look like this. uh the keyframe here is like very fast, so I'm gonna increase the time for that like this. Now if you play the animation, it looks realistic now. Let's render it single frame just to see how it looks. As you can see, it looks good. If you want, you can change the you can get the girl to a bit up, and it should look good with the reflection. So today we are going to create this scene. This scene is inspired from Interstellar, if you have watched it, and this is a reel which I have created to post on Instagram and other social media. And we are going to create something like this, and let's start. So the first thing which you'll need is the 3D model of an astronaut. and I'm gonna use this model. So just go to sketchfab.com and just search for astronaut, and you will find this model. And well, there are other different models, but I just like to use this one. So I'm gonna use this one. When you find your 3D model, just download it. I suggest that you download GLB format, which is like the 1K, because it is the lowest you can get with the size. And when the download is complete, you can just close the browser and open Blender. In Blender, select everything, delete them, and save this in a new folder. I'm gonna name it I'm gonna name it Interstellar because this whole scene is inspired from that movie. So now we'll get some reference from Pinterest. So this is just an optional step, but if you want to follow, you can still follow it. Go to Pinterest and search for Interstellar, and just mention the Miller's planet because we are going to recreate that exact scene. So we can get the reference with this image and even this one. So now in Blender, what you have to do is first create the ocean or water, whatever you say. So first create a plane and then go to modifiers. And in modifiers, you just have to search for ocean. And here you go. If you play the animation, nothing works because we have to still make this, like you have to animate this. And to animate this, if you see in this settings of the ocean modifier, there's this setting called time. So just click on that and delete everything and just type hashtag frame slash, and now we have to give a speed value. So basically, let's say you get the value of 10, so this will move really fast. And now if you make it 50, this will be slightly slower than before. But let's say you make it 5, now this will be very speedy. This doesn't look good. So what we'll do is we'll just keep this at maybe 30, and 30 looks fine to me. Now what you have to do is change few settings here, and this is the resolution of viewport. So if you increase it, it will look more like an ocean plane, and if you decrease it, basically these, let's say these are the subdivisions. And now we have to, and now here we have this two settings. One is size and second is spatial size. So just mess with the settings until you find your desired result. So if you increase the size, it basically increases the size of the ocean. But if you see, if you decrease the size, the waves are getting larger. And now if you change the settings for the spatial size, it basically changes the size, but also the waves and the choppiness. And if you want, you can also copy this same over here. So if we just get this repeat x to 2 and also for the y, so now we have a larger ocean. And if you go in the drop down of views, we have the settings for views. And if you want, you can increase the choppiness. Don't overdo that because it will look really bad. So just do it slightly. And I'll make the smallest wave to 0. And also if you want, you can decrease the size of the scale, something like this. So let's say we repeat xy again. Now we have even larger scale of the ocean. And what if we just um, decrease the spatial size? And also slightly decreasing the normal size, or maybe increasing it. I think this was fine. Slightly decreasing the scale and also decreasing the choppiness. I think this is fine. And if you want, you can also decrease uh, the scale of the views a bit more, slightly like this. I think this is fine. And now what we want is a kind of spaceship. Let's say, so I'm gonna use this free add-on called Blender Kit. If you don't wanna use this add-on, you can just search on Google for 3D model. But I'm gonna use this one. So let's search for spaceship and make sure we select this key first. So now there are a lot of spaceship models, but I'm gonna use a very simple one, which is this one, Phantom Ship. So let's get this somewhere here, and then I'm gonna rotate it 180-degree and getting it slightly on the z-axis like this. Let us also get the camera and then press Ctrl Alt and 0. So now we have our camera. Then just change the focal length to, let's say, 30, and then get it somewhere close like this. Now if you play the animation, it looks like this. Now select the phantom ship and slightly rotate it like this. Okay, I think this is fine. Now what you have to do is create a new just create a new project. Do not save it. We are just going to use this temporary. So import the GLB 3D model of astronaut. So we have this astronaut. It's actually animated, but we don't want something like this because Interstellar, like it's a serious movie, and this just looks funny to me. So I'm just gonna do one thing, and that is select everything, and then press Alt plus P, and then select clear and keep transform. So basically, this will clear the parent for all the objects here. So now all the objects are completely separated. Now we have to select this object here. Okay, so these are the object. Now press Ctrl plus J to join them. So now this is a single object, and then in the modifier, there's this modifier of armature. Basically, this is still linked with the armature. So just click on this cross button. So now the 3D model is free from the armature. Now select this armature and delete it. And now select everything here and just deselect the object here and then delete. Now go to texture just to see if everything is fine. So the textures are looking good. Now what you can do is select this model and export it as FBX. Then we can import this same model in Mixamo, add some animation, and then again import it in Blender. But in our last project, where we have created the ocean, like the water and the spaceship, just export it as FBX. So now in Mixamo, just search for idle animation, and we will use this one. So this is the animation, and if you want, you can maybe use some other animation. So choose whatever you want and then click on download and make sure you download it with scheme and make sure the frame rate is set to 30 and then click on download. After that, after that, just import again the model with animation. So this is my model and I'm gonna first move it here. get it, slightly down on the z-axis. But if you go in the material, you won't see the textures for this model. And now to solve that, we can just simply do that by importing the original model in the scene just for temporary time until we copy the textures from the first model to the second one. And then we can delete the original model and just skip this one. Now go to file import and import the GLB like this one. And if you see, the original model is here, and that's completely fine. Just select this model, and we have this three material. So we have to copy the materials from the original one like this. And then we can delete this original model, and that's it. Now we can move ahead with texturing the border. So go to shading. Now create a new material, name it as water, or let's say ocean. Delete this principal PSDF. Now search for glass BSDS and connect this to the surface. Now we have this material right now, and let's do one thing. So you will see this plane here because this is the original object, and if you unhide this ocean, you will see this ocean now. So let's just hide it for right now, and then what you have to do is make sure the IOR is set to 1.333. Then what you have to do is get a noise texture and a bump node. Then what you have to do is connect this FAC fact to height and connect this normal to the normal. And now this will look really weird, and that's completely fine. Now first decrease the roughness to 0 and then increase the scale like this, and then slightly decrease the strength and also decrease the distance. If you slightly decrease the strength, you will see that this plane is looking more like a water now. So this is how we want this to look. I think this is fine. Now we can unhide this ocean modifier, and now as you see, we have this ocean. Now what we can do is decrease the scale like this, and now we can just mess with the settings until we find like the proper scale. I think 5 is fine for right now. So now if we go in the render view, it looks like this because we don't have any kind of lighting right now. So for the lighting, we are going to use HDRI. So click on this icon which says find HDRI. Now search for overcast, because if you see the reference from the movie, it looks more like a overcast weather. So we are going to use something similar like that, but we want something which has a bit of dark tone. Maybe we can use this one. Let's try it out and see how it looks. Change this object to the world, and then we can just rotate it and get it like this. The border shader doesn't look good, so we can just mess with the settings a bit more. So I've changed a few settings here, and if you want, you can copy this. But actually, it also depends on the size of the ocean. So even if you copy these settings, you have to still make some changes. So just do that first and then follow me. So now we can change the render engine to cycles. So this is how it looks, and it does look realistic, but still there is something we have to change. And let's do one thing first. We can just get this 3D model of us slightly here. I think this is fine now. But if you play the animation now, okay, it looks like this. Okay, I think this is fine. And now what we can do is add a mist. And for the mist, just search here for mist, and you will find it under the data. So just enable it. Now go to compositing, and actually let's render a single frame, and then we can do the compositing. Use the device to GPU and make the max samples to 10 or 15. It all depends on you, but I'll make it 10. Make sure the motion blur is on. Render a single frame for compositing. Okay, so this is the frame. Now go to compositing, click on use nodes, then get a viewer node. So we can view the compositing in real time here. Now we have to connect this mist node somewhere. So get a color ramp, and we are using this color ramp so we can adjust the intensity and the size of the mist, like basically the distance, and get this image to mix node. Connect it on the second image and connect this first image to this image. Then connect this to both of them, to the viewer and also the composite. Now what you have to do is go to the world properties, and now you will see this mist pass. So go to camera and search for mist here and enable the mist in the viewport display of camera. Now go to world. Now go to world properties, and now you will see uh, a line basically here in front of the camera. Basically, this is the distance of the mist. So increase the depth, and then again render a single image. Now go to compositing. I've made a mistake here actually. Connect this dot to the second image and connect this image to the FAC. Then what you have to do is click on this drop down and select this flip color wrap. Now you will see this mist. Just mess with the settings as you like. What I think is we should increase the distance of the mist. Let's increase it slightly like this, and then again render the image, and in the compositing we can change the settings. Select this black color and slightly make it grayish like this. And then what you have to do is we can just increase the size of the ocean. Get it somewhere like this. And now if you go to render image, now we have a very wide looking scene, like the ocean. And now the fog is looking okay, but still there is something you can do. Now again render a single image. Now we'll see the fog in a better quality. Okay. We still have to adjust the mist here. Slightly make it more, slightly make it more white color, like this. So basically, if you see here somewhere, we slightly see the border of the ocean. So we don't wanna do this like too much. So I think this is fine. This looks good. Now go to camera. Now enable depth of field. Now focus on object. Make this our 3D model and get this f-stop to 1. And if you zoom in, you'll see how it affects it. If you make it 0.1, this is how it looks, and it doesn't look good. So slightly increase that. I think 1.5 should be good. And then in the composite, let's add lens distortion. Click on fit, make the dispersion value to 0.02. And now on the edges here, you will see this chromatic aberration. Now get the glare node. Make the fix to pop blue, like the preset, and make the threshold to, let's say, 0.5. Okay, 0.5 is 0.5 is good. Now add RGB curves. Now we can just mess with the settings and see how it turns out. So first is the C. C stands for contrast. So let's decrease it and see how it looks. Also in the glare, we can just make this 0.7. Oops, my blender crashed again. Go to compose setting and we have to render a single frame again. Just make sure you press Ctrl plus S every 5 or 10 seconds, or else if your blender press, then it's gonna be really painful. Lens distortion, just copy the same steps as before. I'm not gonna waste your time showing this, so let's just skip it. Now what we can do is in the B stands for blue. Basically these are red, green, blue, and this is a contrast. Basically this stands for red, green, blue, and this stands for contrast. So for the blue we can slightly increase it, and then for the green we can also slightly increase it. And for the red we can decrease it. So now we have this look here. So this is the final look, and there's nothing left to do now except for the render properties. Make sure the frame rate is set to 24. Anyways, we're going to render it as frame. Make sure the file format is set to PNG, and you can just choose the destination folder and then go to render. Make sure the max samples are set to 10. The reason for setting this max samples 10 is because we are not actually rendering a very high quality scene, because 10 samples are actually fine. Because the reason I'm choosing 10 is because I'm going to show this final render on YouTube or somewhere, like basically social media, and they are anyways gonna make the quality of the video a bit they are going to actually reduce the quality of the video. And let's say you are creating a scene or a movie for a cinema or something, like basically a big screen. So then you can go for high level of samples. You can use 100 or maybe more than 100, but for just for a simple use, let's say for posting on social media or something like that, so you can just go for 10 sample. It's completely fine. And if you're not if the lighting and it's not looking good, you can just make this 15 or 20, but don't go above 20. I would suggest just keep it between 10 to 15. And it's not gonna really make the scene look bad. So 10 sample was completely fine. Make sure you it's selected. Make sure the motion blur is selected, and that is it. Now we can just click on render and click on render animation. So today in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to create a Superman scene in Blender. These are the 9 steps which we are going to follow. So what we're going to create will look something like this. As you can see, this is the final render and this is the viewport render. Wait, I'll just show you in the full screen. So this is how it would look in the final render when we create the whole scene. We can change few things and do some tweaks. So it's not necessary that you just copy paste everything. There's always room for creativity of your own. Let's start with the project, but first we need to find and download the Superman 3D model. So first of all, go to your browser and search for Sketchfab. And here you have to search for Superman and make sure you click on downloadable. And there are a lot of Superman models. You can use any one you like. We can use this one. In the video which I just showed you at the beginning, I have used this model. So maybe we'll use this model. Also, the suit looks like the classic Superman suit, unlike the Henry Cavill one. I actually like both, but this one is like, it reminds me of the old Superman movie. So I think I'm gonna download this one. This model, I don't think so it's rigged, but do not worry, I'm going to show you everything. So let's download this 3D model and make sure you download it GLB format. And if you want, you can use the 2K texture, but I'll just go with the 1K texture. So the 3D model is downloaded and now we can import it in Blender. So create a new project, delete everything, save the project and create a new folder. Let me just name it as Superman. Now you can import the 3D model. There's this orientation problem, as you can see. Let me just first delete this icosphere. So there are a few separate objects in the scene. So what we can do is select everything and press Alt plus B and clear and keep transform. So this will just remove the parent from all the objects. Now we can just now we can just look for the objects here, and as you can see there are these 3 objects. So 3 objects are like the body, the head and the hairs. We can just delete the rest of the thing. In the object properties, make sure the XYZ locations are set to 0. No, actually it won't work. This will actually mess this up. So just press Ctrl plus Z and do one thing, and that is just set the origin to geometry. First, let's just join these objects. So select everything and make sure the main active object is the body, and press Ctrl plus G. And now we can just easily get this properly on the cursor. So make the location XYZ to 0 and slightly increase the size. Now we can create the armature, and later we can go for creating the cape. So to create the armature, make sure you go in the front view. And now with this armature, and we don't see the armature properly. So click on the data, go to viewport display. Now just make sure you check the box called in front. So now you will see the bone. Doesn't matter if it's behind the Superman or wherever it is. So now what you have to do is make sure to select the bone and go to edit mode. And first decrease the size. Select this circle and then press E to extrude. But make sure you press Z to it so that it will just increase the size on the Z axis only. Now get it somewhere here where this the chest like the chest area starts, and then again from here extrude it and get it somewhere here. If you if you wanna see the if you wanna see how this looks from the side view, you can press 3, and this is how it looks. Now you can slightly move the bones like this. This will be somewhere here. All right. This is just for the neck, and this is for the head. Now we can create another bone, which will be for the shoulders. Let's get it somewhere here. It is okay if it's not symmetrical, because we are just going to slightly change the pose of the model, because we just want to make it look like as if it's like it's basically floating in the air. So the hands and the legs, everything will be looking like that. So it's fine if it's not symmetrical. Just extrude it from here to the elbows, and then from elbows to the wrist, and then from the wrist through the fingers. Do the same for this. And now from the top view, as you can see, this is going outside of the model. So select this bone and move it like this. And now if you see, it's looking proper. Now for the bottom area, click on the circle, extrude it somewhere here. Now select both of them, extrude it until you get this, until you get to the knees, and properly just place it on the knees, and then extrude it again to the feet. And now go to the side view and just make sure you are properly placing them. And for this bone, it will be around this heel part, and then extrude them again like this. So this will be this will be for the feet, and then just move this like this. So everything is done. Now we can just apply the 3D model, like just parent it to the bone. First select the 3D model of Superman, then hold shift and click on the bone, and now press Ctrl plus P and click on this set parent to with automatic weights. And now you just have to select the armature, then go to pose mode and select any just select any bone, and if you try to move it, it also moves the character. This is just a very basic you know a basic scene, so I'm not going to get this into advanced. Let's just keep it to a very basic and simple level. So now we can just Select the armature. Now we can start with the cape. For the cape, you have to get a plane. Now go to the top view and get this cape somewhere here and rotate it on the x-axis like this. Now change the scale as I'm doing. In the edit mode, select this two vertices and increase the size on the x-axis like this. And then select this two vertices and decrease the size on the x-axis like this. In the object mode, press Ctrl plus K and hit on scale. So it will apply the scale. Now what we can do is create a loop cut in this somewhere here. And then we can get this like this. Then decrease the size on the x-axis slightly. And then create another loop cut here. Now again select this two vertices and get them forward slightly. Create another loop cut here. And now select these two vertices and get them slightly down on the z axis. Now go to edit mode and now select this part of the plane and go to the vertex group. Click on this plus icon and just rename it to tails and assign that. So basically what we're doing is that when we apply the cloth modifier on the plane, this part will remain as it is. It will act as a hook. So basically only this part will act as a cloth, but this part will just be remain in the same place. Now we can add some subdivisions to this plane. So now in the edit mode, create a loop cut by pressing Ctrl plus R. In the middle part, just create it. Increase the size to something like, let's say 7. Now we have to create some another loop cuts but horizontally. So first create a loop cut and place it somewhere here. We're going to manually do this. And now enable the cloth modifier in the physics properties. Scroll down until you find the shape. Inside the shape, find this pin group, and in the pin group, search for the pins. This is the vertex group which we have just created. And if you play the animation, well, it looks like a cloth but not like a proper cloth. Now for that, first let us add this Superman as a collision. So it will not, intersect with it. Now if you play the animation, it's looking good. It's not intersecting with the 3D model. So now we can just go to the this viewport shading and get this to shade smooth. Now we can get In the edit mode, we can just select everything and press subdivide. And now if you play the animation, the cloth simulation looks, good. It's better than before, but we need, uh, actually let's just get the cloth, like increase the size for the cloth. So for that, this is how we can do it. Make sure to select this line and select the last line. Then extrude them or dizzy axis like this. Increase the size, something like this. And you can just manually add some loop cuts. So now if you play the animation, it does not look that good. So what we can do is, in the cloth modifier, we can increase the vertex mask. So this will basically, let's say, it will add some more, smoothness and some more subdivisions to the cloth. So let's say we're just testing things out. Okay, so let's just make this from 0.3 to 0.8, and let's see how it looks now. Now it looks more like a cloth. It surely does. But I think we should just press Ctrl plus Z and just uh, the clip actually just looks too long, and maybe it will look unrealistic. So let's just press Ctrl plus Z until we did those changes. Then slightly just extrude it on the Z axis, slightly like this, and then manually add some loop cuts. Now if we get this vertex mask again to 0.8, and if we play the animation, it looks more like a cloth this time. If you want, you can increase this vertex mass to, let's say, 1.5 kg. Let's see how it looks now. It looks more like a cloth again. But let's say we increase this to, a big number, let's say 5 kg. This is looking more like a cloth this time. But remember, there's one problem if we increase the vertex mass. So basically, the problem is that the larger the number of the vertex mass, this will obviously look more like a cloth. But the problem is that it won't look, really good when we get the wind force. And suppose we just in the collision, let's just say we enable the self collision. Okay, and then press and then start the animation. As you can see, it's looking good, but at some point it's get like compress. It's like compressing towards each other. In the next step, when we use the wind force, it will because of the wind, it will keep getting fold. So it won't look that good. If you want, you can surely get this vertex mask to 5 kg. But for a smooth uh smooth animation, let's just skip this to maybe 2 kg. And maybe in the next step, if I feel there's a need to increase the mass, we can surely increase the mass later. So I think this is fine right now, and we can get the wind force, and then we can uh start animating the cape. Now to get the wind force, go to force fill, and here you go. Just select this option called wind, and then from the side view, just place it somewhere here. So the wind will blow in this direction. And now, if you play the animation, well, the wind is not affecting the cloth. And the reason is that the strength of the wind, let's change it to maybe 200. And now, if you play the animation, the wind is still not affecting the cloth that much. Maybe increase it to 600 then. Okay, the wind is slightly affecting the cloth, but still not that much. Let's just make it to 1200 and then play the animation. Okay, it is. As you can see, it is started to getting fold. We can change the shape of the cape on this part. Select this faces, go to side view and just rotate it slightly. And now the cape looks better, but it's still not looking proper. Let's just increase the strength of the wind to 1800 this time. Okay, the cape is looking better. So the initial frames, the cape is not looking good, but let's say from frame 120, it's looking good. What we can do is we can start the bake from minus 120. I will show you in the next step when we do that. But for right now, let's just keep it like this. So basically, in the cloth modifier, if you increase the vertex mass, you have to increase the wind force, because the more subdivision this K has, you have to increase the size. Increase the strength of the wind at the same time. So make sure you just keep that thing in mind. Now we can make the animation of the wind. So scroll down and look for cache, and this is the cache. Make the simulation start frame to minus 120. We are doing 120 because at frame 120, like before 120, like let's say from frame 1 to frame 120, the animation is like really bad. But from frame 120, the animation looks good. So if we basically if we start animation from frame minus 120, what will happen is that the look of the frame 120, it will just copy from this frame to frame 1. I'll just show you how this would work. Let's just make the um, end frame to 200, and also in the timeline, let's change the end frame to from 250 to 200. And now click on bake. And now if we play the animation, it looks good. It's not folding and it's looking good. If you want, you can increase the strength of the wind, but just do that before bake. And suppose you bake the animation, but now you wanna do some changes, so you can always click on delete bake, and when you're done, you can just again click on bake. So now we can move ahead with texturing the cake. And for the texture, we are not going to copy any texture from Blender kit because this time we want the symbol of the Superman on the cape. And for that, what you have to do is again go to the browser and search for Google, search for Superman cape texture. And you have to use the exact image which I'll show you. We're going to use this image, this exact image. Okay. Do not worry. I know this is just a plain solid color, and that's fine. Just download this, and when you have downloaded, go to the shading tab, and select the cape. Click on new to create a new texture. Name this as cape. Now get an image texture. Now open the this texture and just connect this node to the base color. Now what you have to do is go to the UV editing tab and make sure you are in the material preview, and now select everything and zoom out here. And what you have to do is just uh, align this properly with the texture. So basically what we are trying to make is get a look from the upcoming movie of Superman. So if you have watched the trailer or something, the cape is looking like, there's this symbol on the cape of Superman. So we are going to create something similar like that. But as you can see, the texture is, it's like compressed, and we have to stretch it. So select everything and then stretch it slightly like this, and then decrease the size like this, and get it somewhere here. So now if you see, this is how it looks. But still, this is just a solid color. We want this to be looking like a cloth, right? But first, let's just focus on the symbol part. If you want, you can surely decrease the size of the of the faces here, so it will increase the size of the texture here, and I think this is fine. We can get it slightly downwards like this. And we can change the color of the red to match it with the underwear, or let's say the shoes part. So what you have to do is get uh brightness and contrast node, and get this between this node, and then slightly decrease the brightness like this. So now it's looking more like, it's like looking exactly like this. If you play the animation, it looks like this now. Now we can make it look like a proper cloth. Go to Google and search for cloth texture. Actually just search for cloth texture black and white, and let's look for a proper texture. Maybe we can use this one, or maybe this one. Let's use this one. So go to the site. Let's just download the texture. So now go to shading tab, and now get an image texture, connect it to the reference. Now open the texture which we have just downloaded, and now what you have to do is you can manually search and get the node, but for some shortcuts you can just go to edit preference, and there's this free add-on called node wrangler. Just enable it. It's built in within Blender, and then select this and press Ctrl plus T. And if you're unable to do that, you can manually get these two nodes. So now what you have to do is uh, get color ramp here, increase this scale to, let's say, 3, and now it's looking more like a suit. But We have to just make it look like this. So it looks as if it's, a proper cloth. So now if you see, it's looking more like a cloth. If you want, you can mess with the settings to get a look of your choice. But I think I'll just go with this look. And also, if you want, you can also again decrease the size or maybe increase it to 4. It's completely your choice. I think I'll just keep it to 4. And if you play the animation now, it's looking really smooth. So that is it for the animation part. Now we can move ahead with uh, changing few bones of the armature. Select the armature and make sure you select this called in front. Now go to pose mode. Now what you have to do is select this bone, rotate it on the x-axis slightly. Now select this bone, rotate again on x-axis, but get it, rotate it like this. And again, rotate this backwards like this. And select this feet bone, rotate it like this. So it looks more like, as if it's like Superman is floating. We don't want the feet to be looking straight like this, right? If the Superman is in air, so the legs would be looking more like this, not this. So let's just change that. For this, we can just again go to pose mode, select this feet bone, rotate it like this. And for the hands, we just simply have to get the hands closer, them slightly like this. Just rotate this just like that. And now if we hide the bones, it looks like this. This part looks ugly. Let's just uh, get this slightly like this. Okay, so I think this looks good. And let's change the rotation of the head to make it look like as if Superman is looking down the city, or rotate it like this. Okay, he looks really weird. uh, we can just slightly increase it like this. So this is how Superman would look if you play the animation. Probably look at it now. And if you want the Superman to look more alive, you can go to pose mode We can animate this the legs bone to make it look as if it's floating in the air. So let's put a keyframe on the frame 1 for both of them, and also for this one. Now let's say frame 50. We can slightly um, rotate this like this, and this bone to slightly like this. And now we can just select these 4 bones and just select this on frame 1, select the keyframe and paste it on frame 100 again. So if you play the animation now, the legs are looking well. The movement is slow, so we can do one thing, and that is we can decrease the distance between this keyframes. So we are taking the distance of frame 50. So maybe let's make it frame 30 this time. So I will play the animation. No, it's not looking good. Let's get the distance to maybe 40. Now if you see, the movement of the right leg is like faster than the left leg. So we have to deal with that. We can do that by just selecting this. Now we can select this 4 bones again. Then select this 2 keyframes. And for the distance 40, let's just keep 40 frames distance from every frames. And then just keep pasting them like this. And then select every frame. Just right click, and in the ease in mode, make sure you select this ease in and out. Let's play the animation now and see how it looks. I think we should take the distance of maybe 35, because it's not looking that good. Just play the animation now and see. Okay, the animation of the legs is looking good now. And if you want, you can also animate the hands, something like the maybe the elbow or something. And as you can see, the Superman is looking more alive now, also with the movements of the legs, forearms and head. Now we can move ahead with creating the HDR. We are not actually going to create HDR. We can get the HDR from Blender Kit. But first, just go to EV, and then just go to the render viewport. Now go to the HDR. Basically, this is a free add-on, and if you want, you can just search on Google how to download Blender Kit add-on. It's a free add-on, and If you want, you can maybe choose other website, or is this completely on your choice how to download HDR. Search for city and make sure you select this option called free first. Choose that type of HDR which shows a lot of buildings and city. First, check this out and see how it looks. This is not looking good. This looks good. Let's just go to the shading and select world so we can rotate the HDR. Rotate the Z value like this. I think I'm just gonna get this HDR. Just make sure you get a very high resolution and press OK. You can rotate it as per your choice. And now we can get a camera and then press Ctrl Alt and 0. And let's change the resolution X to 2100 and Y resolution to 900. And then what you have to do is get the focal length to 30. 30 is fine, and slightly just actually get the camera something like this. Okay, this looks good. Also, you can rotate the HDR more like this. Okay, I think this is fine. And now we can change the render engine to cycles. And if you see the Superman, it's looking good. Also, the shadows are looking good. And also in the background, we can see buildings and all. I think this is fine. Now we can add multiple camera in the scene. So the camera which we are using right now is the second camera. So we want another camera. Let's get another camera like this, and it will be somewhere here. But we have to create two markers right now in the timeline. So let's go to prim 1, click on the marker and click on this add marker. And now select this new camera and again go to marker and click on bind camera to markers. And now we can just press Ctrl Alt 0 and that is that. Now let's say after maybe frame 50, okay. So after frame 80, we want the second camera. So add another marker, select this camera and click on viewing camera to markers. So this is how it will change, from one camera to the other one. Now let's add uh camera shake, and there's this add-on called camera shake. It's a free add-on. Uh you can search on Google or YouTube. I'm not going to go in details because I'm just trying to make this lecture for a very basic and simple level. If you have downloaded, just make the preset to wedding, and also for this camera, make this to wedding. And for this camera, actually, let's get this focal length to 70 or maybe 80, and zoom in slightly like this. And if you go in the render, it will look like this. Uh, actually, let me just make this to, let's say, 50. 50 was fine. or maybe 30. But let me just um zoom in slightly like this. And this camera, like, the position is fine. So if you see now, this is how it would look. Maybe for the second camera, we can uh, make this to maybe like investigation and decrease the influence slightly. So the final render will play out like this. Let's render a single frame and we can start compositing. Make sure you get this max samples to 10. Also for the viewport, make sure motion blur is on and then render image. Now go to compositing, click on use nodes, get a node called viewer connected to the image. If you press V, it will zoom out. Now search for lens distortion. Connected to both of them, click, check this box called fit. And now we want some chromatic aberration. If you have played any games, you know what chromatic aberration is. Make the dispersion value to 0.03. It's too much, I think. So let's just make it 0.02. Now search for RGB curves. And now just mess with the settings and see what you like. Now increase the blue slightly and also decrease the green and decrease the red slightly. Okay, so that is it. Now you can go for the final render, and for the final render, the output properties. And okay, first make sure the device is set to GPU and make sure the frame rate is like 24. It doesn't really matter, but if you wanna see how much second it will be long, like the duration, you can just check it. Now make sure the file format is set to PNG. Then choose your destination folder. So let's say we create a new folder called Superman and name this as frames. So it will render from frame 1 to frame 200. So there will be total 200 frames here. That's it. You can just hit on render animation and it will start rendering the same.